Welcome back, savages. What do you think happens when we die? Tonight, we're going to share our ideas.
You're dead. What happens now? We're going to run with that.
So, we have, I guess the top 4 things that could potentially happen when you die. Do you go to heaven or hell? Do you just go to the great beyond the spirit realm? Are you reincarnated? Or is there just nothing?
Well, I don't know because I still have about 30 years or so to go. Oh, I'm 32. My grandma didn't live past 60. Oh, my grandpa's still kicking, so maybe I got maybe 40.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We all know my mom didn't live very long, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know that I can go on a rant about this topic just because I am not religious in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Now, I know you don't have to be religious, but we all know that the whole heaven and hell thing is because of religion.
Yes.
And it's one of those things that's forced on a lot of people. Mm-hmm. I don't believe in heaven and hell because I feel like if there is some kind of judgment that happens when you die, not if you die, because it's not if, it's when you're going to die. If there is some kind of judgment that's going to happen, why do you only have 2 choices? You get more than one choice in life.
Yeah.
So why do you only have 2 choices, A? And B, why is there one person who makes that decision?
I can only assume the why is to keep the flock on the straight and narrow.
Well, that flock does worse crap than what the non-flockers do. Okay?
You non-flocker, you.
I have seen, even in my day-to-day now, I have, obviously, my hair is 6 different colors. I have a nose ring. I'm covered in tattoos. I do not know how to use a sentence without swear words. How I make it through any of these videos, I don't freaking know. Because, God, it's bad. I am constantly judged by the flockers. Because I don't...
You don't fit the norm.
No, and the funny thing is I am one of the nicest people you will meet. Mm-hmm. I've done good things and I've done bad things. Like stuff that I'm not proud of that I've done. And I had a really sketchy, from 18 to 22, I had a sketchy adult life because I didn't know how to navigate things. Mm-hmm. And I was judged constantly. Mm-hmm. I've given money to homeless people. I give crap away to people who need it. I've been stopped on the street like, hey, do you have absolutely here, let me help you. Mm-hmm. And if I don't, I'll figure it out because I don't feel like that should be a bad thing.
Right.
But based on somebody's appearance or who they love or whatever should not determine whether or not people go to heaven or to hell.
Right.
Now, we all know my preference, but I don't believe that you go to heaven or hell. I feel like there is some place we go mm-hmm. where we can be judged or whatever. We see family again. We, or have our dogs and cats and all them again. And then at some point you're booted out and you're put into a new body of some screaming child coming into this world. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Whether that happens, I don't know, because I still got 30, 40 years, maybe, unless I get hit by a truck tomorrow. Let's not do that.
Knock on wood. Yeah, I don't know. I totally believe in the reincarnation because, like I've said in other videos, I think we have like a soul path or a purpose that
Yeah.
we have to complete. And until we complete that, we keep coming back.
I would like to know what my purpose is, because this
So
is
would I,
really
because
like...
this is getting a little ridiculous
Yeah.
already. I don't know exactly how that works because there are so many spirits around. Are they stuck and they haven't been able to be reincarnated yet? Or are they done and now they're just...
I feel like it's like a whole separate like dimension type
Yeah.
thing, where you have the living and then you have the dead, and at some point our paths cross, which is why we're able to see ghosts.
Yeah, I totally believe that. The different dimensions, kind of, yeah.
I mean, because they talk about how, you know, if you summon demons, they come from a different dimension. Well, maybe, you know, Steve was just chilling at home and all of a sudden he was transported to a new location because somebody, you know, scribbled some things down, said some words they shouldn't have, and now he's just chilling in your living room where he's like, what the hell?
He's like, dude, I was about to eat a pizza.
Right. Yeah. Everybody talks about there being like other dimensions and whatnot, but we don't have the technology that I know of.
They're trying really hard.
Of course they
They're
are.
opening portals and all kinds of stuff.
Has anybody ever seen Hellraiser? It's not a good idea to do those things. If you've never seen that movie, you should watch that movie because other dimensions probably aren't that fun. And same thing with the Poltergeist movie. Don't do it. But they've always said that there could be an opposite dimension of like you have hours, then all, like you could be, you know, on the other side where your soul is doing something else. Like just waiting for everything to like mesh back together, and then you're gonna go do something else.
Yeah.
That's too much for me.
I think it's kind of cool to think about, but it kind of gives me the creeps at the same time.
Yeah, I don't want to think about, like, I already cry enough when I think about it. I'm like, there's just gonna be a day when I just don't wake up, and then what the hell happens next?
Yeah. I used to think about that every time I would go to sleep. I'm like, okay, am I going to wake up in the morning, or is it going to be nothing for...
Right. Well, I mean, there have been those cases where people have, like, gone to sleep and they just don't wake up.
Or the ones where they go to sleep and they think they wake up, but their body didn't wake up.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that thought. And it's like the people who are in a coma, where there have been like studies done that people in a coma have woken up and they're like, yeah, I was just like chilling in the room like across from you guys, watching people come in and listening to your conversations. I just couldn't get back to my body, and then one day it was just like I just woke up.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, that, well, I mean, they're in a coma. They're unconscious. So basically that opens up all the possibilities for the astral travel, and
Yeah.
maybe that's really what being in a coma is.
Like a long-term astral projection type thing. Get lost in the further.
Yeah, and then the ones that don't wake up can never get back.
Right. Duh. I don't like that thought whatsoever. Like they just...
They went to the upside down and couldn't get back.
but when they wake up, like, what if...
They don't wake up.
But, like, the ones that, like, wake up, and that's the other thing, too, like, the ones that wake up, and, like, sometimes they don't remember what happened, is that the same person?
Right.
Like...
Maybe some other soul just hopped back in there.
I'd be shanking people. Like, get out of my body. This is mine. I put 32 years of miles on it. Get out.
But you're not there anymore. You don't know.
Nope. I'd be getting my ghost shank and just get out. Like that episode of, what is it called? Where the ghost and the werewolf and the vampire all live together. It was a sci-fi TV show.
I don't know.
I binge watched it for like months. But anyway, they were hitting people or hitting ghosts with like iron and stuff, and then they would just like disappear. Like I would totally be that one in the corner, just like,
Yeah.
get out. This is mine. I'll figure it out. I don't like that
I probably
concept.
won't be around if that ever happens to you, but my ghost will come find it, and I will ask it questions only you would know. And if it gets it wrong, then
Right.
out.
April's just going to be chilling in the corner of my room, right, my house, and just sitting there, just in a rocker, just reading a book, and she'd look up every now and then to judge me for something. That's exactly how that would go.
Yeah.
Something would fall off the wall. It's just April. She didn't like that picture today.
Freak the dogs out every once in a while.
You'll have to come to Northridge.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if my ghost wants to be there with the things that are there.
No, then you'd find out for sure what exactly has been there.
That's true.
I would just get something on like the ghost app that says you were right.
Back to the reincarnation, because there's somebody we know has gotten some pretty interesting stories from a child of theirs. The one had to do with being in the back of a police car. So when they went to the truck thing, this particular child wanted nothing to do with sitting in the police cars like all the other kids did, because they'd already been in one. And it didn't end well. And then it went to having discussions. A song was on the radio, and it led to discussions of what happens to people in the electric chair. And this kid, who is well under 5 years old,
That has the mind of an adult.
knew exactly what happens when somebody is put in the electric chair. The latest one was this child asked if they were going to be a mommy. And she said no. Or no. It started off by, am I going to be a girl when I grow up? And mom said, no, you're going to be a boy. And he said, well, am I going to be a mommy? And she said, no, you're going to hopefully be a daddy someday. And he said, oh, good. I did not want to be a mommy again. And he's had other stories, other situations have presented themselves where he's seen things, said things, done things that he had no way of knowing. If I had past lives, I would love to know what they are.
It always makes me wonder if like I ever said that stuff to like my mom.
Uh-huh.
Just because I have that vivid memory of like being made into the person that I am, like, and then like seeing the light, seeing the doctor, seeing my mom and whatnot. But you hear all these stories about these kids, especially during COVID, who are now getting older, who are like, oh yeah, I know this place. But I mean, it's been happening for many years. I mean, it was on Unsolved Mysteries, like when I was growing up, about how there was this kid who was a pilot in his former life, and he was like, oh yeah, I flew this plane, and like took his mom like right to the airport and everything that he used to fly in, and he could tell you everything about the cockpit. And his mom was like, he's never been in an airplane, he's never even been to the airport, like he doesn't even live in this state, and he knew exactly where to go.
Yeah, there's so many stories.
And like he even talked about his family, and they were able to track these people down. Like that gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. There's tons of stories like that. Or I only caught a tidbit of the one today. These people, I don't know where they were originally from, but I believe they went to like the Portland area. And they had a little girl, I think she was like 8-ish, but I could be wrong. And she had places there that she knew, and she'd never been there before. But they took her here, and she's like, oh yeah, I know, this is over here, and this is here, and that was there, and this used to be this, but now it's this. And then they wanted to take her to the beach, and she started screaming and crying, I don't want to go back there. After what happened, I don't want to go back there. And obviously they ended up not taking her there, but they did the research and they were able to track back who she probably was, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. And like there's been a few stories and stuff that I've read, and like a few articles was like, oh, if you feel this way, or if the person that you're with, you have like this thing that pops into your head, somehow we always are reincarnated back into our family, but as somebody else.
Huh.
Yeah, it's like if...
Well, I guess that would kind of go into like the soul path thing, because there's a reason.
Yeah. I mean, because it always goes back to like ancestry and like DNA and whatnot, is that you are always connected to somebody.
Yeah.
And like somehow we are all connected one way or another. And we're not going into that whole Jesus thing. I don't have time for that. We're just not. We are not all brothers and sisters. Okay? We're not doing that. It does go into the thing of somehow we are all related. I mean, there was like that girl who did the whole genetic testing to find out that Barack Obama was actually part of another like presidential lineage way back when. It was a whole like long... Wow. I skipped mostly to the end.
Well, yeah.
Because I couldn't sit and watch it. My ADHD was like, no. But we have a connection. And I think a lot of that, I think that goes into like the blood type too. About how you could not know this person, but they're a match to you. Like, genetically.
Yeah. But that also goes with the whole, not only do you have your DNA family, but you have your soul family. Which, it doesn't matter if male, female, child, adult, whatever. You have your soul family, and you...
It's people you're drawn to for some reason.
Yes,
or another.
Because there's different types. There's your twin flame, there's your soulmate, there's this, that, and the other. But basically, your souls need to be with each other at certain points in life. Some of them you are supposed to stay connected with forever, and other ones you only need them at certain points on your journey.
I don't need you anymore. Get out.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And that goes into like how people make friends and whatnot. Like growing up, you think you need to have like all of these friends because you need to have that. But then as you get older, you realize you don't need that many friends.
Yeah.
Like, I can now count on my hand, like, how many friends that I have that I actually talk to. I can't say on a daily basis because I am terrible at communicating and I'm a hermit. And once I'm home, I'm home. I'll talk to anybody. Just ask her. Doesn't happen. I spend too much time with her at work, and that's pretty much the only things that we get.
Yeah.
But you pick these people for a reason. Like, you're drawn to them.
Yeah. And usually the universe will line it up so that you meet.
Like everything that happened with you and I. You and I started working together, and then, you and I started talking one day, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
And now here we are.
Yep.
6 years later.
Yep.
Something like that.
Same thing with Tabby. We started talking, and one thing led to another, and come to find out, we all have the same thoughts on just about everything.
Yep.
And we all bring out different pieces of each other when we're together.
Yeah, but it's like my one of my best friends, Shannon. When I first started working with her, everybody was like, yeah, she just has this face and, can't approach her or anything like that. It was like my second day, and I walked up to her and I was like, hi. And then, like, I told her one day, I had said something to one of the other girls that I work with. I was like, she's going to be my best friend. And this girl looked at me like I was crazy. And now here we are.
Yeah.
Like, I was drawn to her because we are, like, the same person. Mm-hmm. And it's like you and I are, like, the same person. Sometimes we have the same thoughts at the same time.
Yeah,
we say the same things at the same time.
We do that at work on a regular basis.
We do. And a lot of people are like, well, that's just because. But what if it's not?
Right.
What if it's you are meant to meet this person for this reason? Mm-hmm. And it all goes back in hand of, well, did you guys know each other, like, in a past life? Were you friends? Were you relatives? Like, who were you?
Yeah. You can trace it all back, but you got to go through some things to do that, which I would love to do at some point, but I'm afraid of everything that it would unleash in the process.
I'm down.
Yeah.
I've
always wanted to do a past life
Let's find out what I did in a past life, because I always make the joke that I was probably some kind of, like, serial killer, but then I'm like, I don't think I could kill people or hurt people. I mean, I don't like people. No. We're just going to throw that out there. No. Everybody knows that I don't like people. But I'm nice generally to people.
Until you're not.
Right.
And usually there's a reason.
But that's the thing, though, is, like, the way that you act towards people, a lot of the time is because you just get a vibe from them, like, right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, can feel when people, there are some people that come into work and I'm like, I don't like you and I don't even know you, and I walk away.
Yeah. I'm like, no, somebody else can take you.
And, you know, when we go grocery shopping and whatnot, I'm such a freak because I don't want to get near people. I don't want to, like, when we went to Michigan and I, like, kept my hands tucked as I walked through, it's because I get vibes from people and I'm like, I feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that all stems, like, all of that can stem back to who they are as a person and what they may have done that you don't even know about.
Yep.
I mean, there's that statistic what is it, like 50 to 80% of people that walk past you could be, like, some kind of murderer.
Yeah.
And here I am, like, oh, did you kill somebody? Did you kill somebody? Have you done anything bad? Because I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But I'm also one of those people that's like, you get near me and you think you're going to hurt me, I'm going to eat you. No. I sharp, pointy objects. I know how to use them.
Yes. I always say I was a rich, evil princess in my past life.
So Russian.
Yeah. And that's why.
Or Italian.
They all yell at me, but I said that's why I'm paying my penance now. Mm-hmm. Because everybody did everything for me, and I had money out the wazoo, and I was mean.
Close.
I think I drowned in a previous life. Probably what they did. They probably just drowned me in my own.
Well, isn't that what they say? It's like what your, like, biggest fears are is probably how you died.
Yeah. And they also say, like, birthmarks and stuff. If you have any, like, very prominent birthmarks, they say that that's where your injury occurred.
Mine's on the back of my leg where your artery is. Like, if you get, like, shot in the leg and you bleed out, that's where mine is. Mm-hmm. And it looks like a wound.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it looks like a wound. And I'm afraid of heights. I feel like I was probably shot in the back of the leg on some place high.
You were probably running. They shot you in the leg and then you fell off the cliff.
Ah!
It ties everything together.
I don't like that.
But it ties the birthmark and the fear together.
I'm like, we were both just shot.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah. I have one right here. Tegan has the same one.
You were probably conked in the back of the head.
Probably. Because I wouldn't shut up, probably. Whap!
You talk too much.
Yeah. Okay, she's dead now. Little do they know.
I wonder how long it takes, like, to be reincarnated. We had a comment on one of our videos that it was like 45 days, like 45 days of judgment.
I don't know. There's that song, one of my favorite songs. Lightning Crashes.
Yeah, that was a long song. We listened to that.
Yeah, but I love that song. And it goes through that whole process.
It does.
As the old woman dies, the baby down the hall is being born. So, I don't know.
Well, I mean, that is like one of the... What is it? Is it Chinese? Asian culture? I think it's Asian culture in general that if you see... Or that you can see spirits when you're having a baby because that spirit is going to become your baby. There was some really like freaky horror movie about it, but it's a lot of it is like if you have a family member die and then you have a baby, it's that family member being born.
Yeah, and there was some superstition along that lines. Of if somebody dies while you're having the baby.
It's that person.
Yeah.
My kid's going to be a holy terror because some serial killer's going to die and then I'm going to have a baby. That's what's going to happen.
I'm going to have to research anybody that died on 3 certain days so I can... Because that would explain a whole lot.
Oh, you have to do that because I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know.
That'll be a project for tomorrow or Saturday night.
Yeah. Every time I've done, like, the whole, like, they have, like, a TikTok filter and whatnot, mine's always some 76-year-old Russian farmer lady.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. I can't farm for crap.
No.
I have a succulent that I finally figured out how to keep alive, and the top of it broke, so now I'm like, ooh, can I plant that and make a new one? Other than that, plants are not my forte.
No.
I'm lucky if I can grow a potato. And those are not hard to grow.
I never tried, but...
And I don't know how much of, like, your old life passes into your new one.
I don't know. Again, that's one of those things I would love to be able to go back through and see what ties in. Because I would think if you're going for that one purpose, you would think it should all tie in somewhere.
You would think.
But then again, that goes back to the whole free will thing. And if you're supposed to be on this path, and in this lifetime you went this way, then your next lifetime you're going to start back over here. So none of that's going to be in it.
Because they always say, like, up until, like, the age of 5, you can remember a lot of, like, your former life. And then after that, you just, like, your brain is just like, nope, you are not a little kid anymore.
Yeah.
Because typically around the age of 5 or 6 is when you start, like, learning things in school and whatnot. And it changes your perspective on how you view things. And all of a sudden, everything that you used to know.
Your brain just shuts that whole portion off, which is why generally before the age 5 is when kids see the ghosts and the imaginary friends. And because your brain says, nope, that's not normal. And
then, you know, you become an adult and you think that your imaginary friends are imaginary friends and you find out, no, they're just dead people that follow you around. Because you can hear them.
Yeah.
Or you can feel them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun when you feel somebody standing behind you, but they're not there. But yes, they are. No, there's nobody there right now.
I know there's nobody there right now.
You're just giving me that look.
I don't have that feeling in your house. I don't know how I don't have that feeling.
Yeah,
but
I don't know because I do usually a few times throughout the day, but not.
I always get that feeling like when I go to bed. I always feel like somebody's standing over top of me, and I'm like, can you just go away?
Yeah, because I think they're saying, would you please just go to bed already so we can have the house back?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like when we leave work, they always turn the Alexa on in ICU because they're like, please get out of here. It's our turn. Every night it comes on.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. There's got to be like some other dimension that these ghosts or these people that used to be people are like intertwined with our lives.
Yeah, you would think, and I just don't know. That's where my brain has a hard time wrapping around all of this because the ones that are just ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to call them, They reside, we'll just say, on this plane. Okay, we're on this plane because they're a little more advanced than we are. Do they stay here because they're done, or do they stay here until their next meat suit is ready?
Ew. Don't call it that. Ew. Makes me think of the Lady Gaga costume.
Oh God,
it
no!
really
I just
suit.
watched my show today. That's why I. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's right. That's what he calls them.
Yeah. When the timing is just right and everything flows together, we do kind of overlap some.
Beam me
so
up, Scotty.
yeah. So if they're over here on this side going, God damn, these spirits are bugging us, because that.
Right.
Do they know?
Is there like
who or
some kind of
what we are, or
like, there's like some kind of line
yeah,
just waiting at a door?
yeah.
They're just. Are we going now? Like, it's been 350 years. It's time to go.
Steve, get rid of these people, okay?
Right.
So for those of you that don't know, we work in a haunted hospital.
Veterinary hospital.
Yeah.
We don't deal with people. We've made that very clear.
Yeah, no. You do not want me as a nurse. No. So we do have a lot of animal spirits there, but we have a lot of human and possibly non-human spirits there.
Yeah.
But we have had so many things happen there, and that's why we have these conversations daily on, are these spirits just like stuck going through what they would normally do, or
Like going through the motions.
Yeah.
Just every day, that's the same thing.
because we'll have equipment disappear, we'll have we have Alexas in all the rooms, and those will come on almost every day at the same time. One in particular comes on, and usually it's Mexican music. Usually. Occasionally it's just I think one day we had some weird, like, Jamaican music. Another day we had love songs, but generally it was Mexican music for a long time.
Arriba!
Yeah. We all walked in. I walked in there and I'm like, so I got out my phone and I did the name this song, and I'm like, who put this on? Not me. Not me. Okay. But, and then the one morning we came in and the paper towel roll was like this on the floor. There is no possible way that it fell, because in order to get off of the paper towel rack, it has to go up and then over, and the likelihood of it landing like this is slim to none.
That's the one that I was asked. She was like, hey, did you do this? I said, no, it was on the rack when I left, because I put it on and then pulled a paper towel off of it.
Yeah.
So, I would have known if it had come off when I pulled the paper towel off, but I was like, no.
And we were the last ones out that night.
It was still up when we left.
But a lot of things we do there, we sit on the floor with all of our stuff around us. So, were they going through the motions and just forgot to clean up?
That's what a lot of people say is, like, the spiritual, like, what they do is just like a
residual go. Yeah.
There we go. Couldn't think of the word. And it's basically them just living out their last moments day after day after day. But what if it's not? Like, what if it's them just living day after day after day?
Yeah.
They're just finding new things to keep themselves entertained.
Yeah. They just don't have
As long as
body.
I have a chair and a stack of books that I can sit and read from, I'm kosher. Because I've got a long TBR list that I would like to
couple of kitty cats, a wolf. What are your thoughts on the whole heaven and hell thing? Because, you watch the shows and the books, and they depict what heaven and hell would be. And, of course, my favorite show, what they show hell to be. Some of it looks pretty darn cool. But then you don't want to be in the cage.
No, I think heaven and hell is just... I just think it's a place.
Yeah.
Or a placeholder.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like the final... This is it.
I would think once you did your time, so to speak, suffered for your whatever wrongs that he, she, it said you did, then you can move on.
Yeah. I think it's a placeholder, but like I said, I don't necessarily believe in heaven or hell.
No, but just from the TV shows and the books and the...
Oh yeah, from the TV shows and the books and whatnot, they make it seem like heaven is... that they make it almost seem like heaven is more evil than hell.
Yeah.
And that... Oh, and I mean, I can kind of believe that, especially with all the flockers.
Yeah.
Because you have all of the churchgoers who are more evil and whatnot than the people who don't go to church. And I'm not saying it's like every church, every friggin' religion.
No, but a lot of them have that holier than thou attitude, and
they just need to be knocked down a peg or two.
Yeah, they go to church on Sunday, so they think it's okay for them to behave terribly the rest of the week.
No, that's not okay.
No, and they are some of the most judgy people that I have come across.
Oh yeah, I am wholeheartedly aware of that.
Yeah. Then you've got the other spectrum of what people would consider the bad people. Mm-hmm. Going for stereotypes, you've got the bikers, the heavy metal people, the goth people, the vampire people, the blah, blah, blah. We could go on forever. And those are the bad people, and most of them would give you the shirt off of their back. But we don't have to go to church on Sunday and apologize for it.
Nope, we can just sit at our altars, light some candles, open our spell books, and be like, all right, ladies and gents, today this deity is who we're praying to.
Right.
Whether or not that could go good or bad, we don't know. We're just going to wing it today.
Yeah, see what happens.
I mean, growing up, I did go to a lot of different churches. Like... my friend's mom, if I stayed the night at her house on the weekend, I knew every Sunday, unless one of us was sick or her mom just didn't feel like going, which was hardly ever, I went to church. I went to Bible study. And I have always had the same thought process since I was a child, which is Jesus real? Because you can't see him.
Right.
You can't feel him. You can't touch him. And everybody's like, oh, well, it's the faith. Okay. All of that praying you do, what happens?
Right.
Not a goddamn thing.
Right. And using that logic, the thing that got me the most was all the evil in the world. The kids getting hurt, the kids being abused, the murderers, this, that, and the other. Okay, I understand that he gave everybody free will. But if you're such a good, wonderful being, why do you allow these things?
So that's always been like the $1 million question. And it's, everybody says, well, it's based on your faith. I believe in a 6'2" demon with a nose ring. I have yet to have that happen. I have faith in that. But again, you can't see him, feel him, hear him.
Right. The
day that he shows up, though, I'm going to be like, oh, God. I'm sorry. But you get that whole, it's based on your faith. Mm-hmm. And that if you lose faith, you're losing your way. Well, what if you didn't have faith to begin with?
These are just our questions that go along with the whole heaven and hell thing, where you have to believe these things in order to go to heaven or hell, or not believe in order to go to hell, whatever. These are my questions that I have. I have a hard time believing that such a powerful, caring being would allow these terrible things to happen.
And I think that's one of the biggest questions that's always asked. Mm-hmm. And everybody says, oh, it's in the Bible. Read the Bible. I've read the Bible. I've read a few of them.
Yeah.
And it's always the same thing. In certain books, it's, no gays, no tattoos, no this, no that. Well, why?
Right.
What did they ever do to you?
You can't be gay. You can't have a tattoo. Technically, you're not even really supposed to like work on Sunday. The list goes on and on. But it's okay to hurt kids. And it's okay to kill people if you think you should.
Yeah.
Sure. That's not really something I
like
want
Texas.
to be in, right? We just solved the question.
It's Texas.
God is from
Texas.
So if you want to find him, go there.
I apologize to anybody who is from Texas. It's just the first thing that popped into my head because
Tegan.
Texas.
Tegan is from Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
So he brags about that all the time, so.
Knock him down a pair or two, just kick him in the shins.
Yeah.
Take his knees out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's all of our ramblings for today.
Yeah, we can rant about this all night, but basically the stipulation is I don't believe in heaven or hell. I feel that there is reincarnation. There is something out there besides heaven and hell, and that's always going to be my belief.
Yeah. I fully believe that we are reincarnated until our job is done, whatever that may be.
All right, guys, we're going to call it a night.
What do you think happens when we die? Tonight, we're going to share our ideas.
And these are the words of Walter Cronkite.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
But it was
you
funny.
don't know who that is.
No.
Yeah, no.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Is he like some talk show host?
He was a
The news.
very stuffy, conservative,
News guy.
old newscaster.
Oh, God.
All right,
God.
that was good, though. You did way better than I thought you were going to do.
Mm.
Very good job. But I couldn't help it. Right, that second half of that, you were totally Walter Cronkite.
Okay.
All right, recompose, jump into your